So how you been?
The last time we did this, when I left you,
When you left me?
when I left
Sounds
you,
like we were in a relationship.
I literally felt the universe shift. I swear I'm not lying. I felt it. After you posted it, again, the reception, the people, the comments, the love, the keep pushing, the words of just encouragement.
Yeah.
That really touched me. You know what I mean? To that lady in Australia, thank you. I really appreciate you. That really meant to know that somebody in Australia knew my story. And I honestly kept going from the day I met you. Like the day I met you, I have my depressed moments, but they by far are so far few in between. I mean, it's still a daily battle. My son's killer still hasn't been found. In fact, 2 more of my son's friends have been murdered since. It's been difficult, but I'm going to start a nonprofit organization. I want to make a safe space for people, moms, fathers, and anybody, like me, where death was abrupt and violent. I got life left. When my son died, I didn't die. And I now haven't had a thought where I want to die. Like that since this year, I want to live, man. I want to live. And there's just been ever so much more since I walked away from this stoop last year.
What do you think was the point at which it turned from something that was killing you to something that was giving you life?
I'm gonna be honest with you. There was one time I was in my bed and my eyes were bloodshot red, crying. They were probably swollen. I probably looked a mess. And I literally heard my son say, "Get up, Mom. Get up and get out of bed, Mom." And I swear I heard this so clear. And I had to.
Let me ask you this, as someone who's lost a child, why do you think God allows suffering in this world?
I still haven't grasped the concept of religion. I think that we as people have more God-like tendencies in us and we don't look at that. We don't hold ourselves accountable. We can make this place better. It is us who is allowing people to suffer. You know what I mean? Minus the illnesses and stuff, but I'm talking about the stuff that we as mankind can really change. It's been us destroying us. It hasn't been God letting stuff happen. We just gotta be accountable. Maybe if we're more accountable, maybe we make this place a little better. I don't like seeing mothers lose their kids. And there's too many of us out here. And by the end of this day, there's gonna be somebody else being notified. And it's just too much.
Losing a child is one of the greatest pains a human being can experience.
Yes.
And the process by which that suffering is converted into hope and inspiration and building other people up. I mean, like that suffering is still there,
It's
right?
deep.
It doesn't actually go away.
It never goes away. I wake up to it. I go to sleep to it. Anytime my mind is idle, I think about my son, his last thoughts, what he must have looked like when he got shot. I mean, horrible images, horrible.
But in the past, or at least in the first year or so,
It was easier to get stagnated on that thought process of just staying there and dwelling in it and sitting in that. Yeah, just even talking about it. I don't know if you can feel that, but even just talking about it, it brings me to a place where my stomach is literally in knots.
it's like a muck.
It's horrible.
It feels mucky.
Yeah.
But now,
And then even talking about now that I can even pass that just momentarily. I'm there now and I could talk myself out of it.
how do you hold that pain and that presence at the same time?
The pain is gonna be there. It's not that I even wanna hold it. My son is gone. I don't know how not to feel pain about that. And I also know that I loved him so much, he can't be just gone. So he's gotta be here, you know what I'm saying? So that is comforting to me.
If I'm hearing you correctly, the pain you feel is so deep, that pain comes from how much you love him.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So in a way, feeling
It's
that
hand in
pain
hand. It's hand in hand.
shows you how much you love him.
Right.
And that depth of that love makes it feel like there's something.
Right.
So that pain in a way leads to life or
to the light, right. It
To the light,
leads to remember he existed. He was mine. I'm hurting for a reason. So yeah, the pain and the love go hand in hand. I don't think I could have one without the other right now. I accept that because I feel him, and that's what I get to.
Well, you hear him too.
I do hear him. I hear him say.
That's pretty cool.
It is, because he says crazy stuff to me, and I know it's him because, like, one day he told me, "Ma, you gotta let me go." I would never in my life tell myself that.
Losing your son to a senseless shooting, you felt a lot of anger.
Mm-hmm. I still do.
That was the last I remember. Last time we smoked. That means we got to smoke it sometime.
Yeah.
Last time we spoke, you were really struggling with that anger.
Yes, I do still have it. While I don't have a target to direct my anger, it has made me see that it is so irrational to just be angry all the time. Not only that, what does it do to the body? Grief enough does enough to the body. What does anger do to the body? It causes stress-related illnesses, heart attacks, cholesterol, blood pressure.
So tell me about your relationship with Naja.
Both my oldest two sons, I was homeless, so I was an absent parent, you know, and I have a lot of resentment and guilt about not being a better person. I know that at the time I didn't know how. So I do know that I made a better decision for the boys.
By letting them go to their father.
By letting them go to their father, you know what I'm saying? Who had a great supportive family. I didn't have that. And they grew up in a household which was very different than how I grew up. So they can't relate to the traumas that I had as a child. You know, they don't understand what it's like to have a parent using drugs or growing up poor. And I'm glad. That was the whole purpose of them going with their dad. So I did what I was supposed to do.
I asked because earlier you said like you felt bad about, I asked like, why do you want to be a better person or something like that?
Because of the resentment, the hurt, and the things I dealt with, the guilt,
Yeah.
I think everybody goes through would have, could have, should have, but
Yeah.
especially as an absent parent, like, it's so much even worse.
Why the guilt though? Because it sounds like you understand why you did the things you did. You wouldn't have done anything differently.
Because it still doesn't matter. He's still my baby, and I still should have shaped up enough.
But you couldn't, like,
It is
with all the stuff you had to go through,
I
deal with.
understand that, but I also do know I have an obligation to them kids, and I did not fulfill my obligation. And although we did, you know, get to a good place, that's something I got to live with. And you know, people make mistakes all the time that they have to live with. And I've learned better, and I've changed my ways since. But I can't take back the time or the hurt or the disappointment these kids had, and that hurts. I can't fix that. That really does hurt. Like, I don't care if they 30. I will think back to a time where I missed a birthday and it will hurt. So, as a mother, I have to hold that. And it's gonna make me better for my other kids, you know? Because I never wanna feel that again.
Can you forgive yourself?
I'm learning to. I haven't yet,
How do you know you haven't?
because I still hold myself accountable for so much. You know, stuff that I know that it just ain't even possible to be my problem, but I'm getting there. And it's gonna take time. You know, Rome wasn't built in a day, and neither will be refiguring out my new reality, but I'm getting there. And I think what's even more important is that I'm willing to put the work in.
What would it look like to forgive yourself?
The person that you are today is the person that you would feel safe with as a child. I just know that I am an incredible person, you know what I'm saying? And that little girl in me feels safe with me. And I'm hoping that eventually my kids will, you know, realize that that's who I'm trying to be. It's just a safe space for them. I can't take back a lot of stuff. So forgiveness for me would just look like being accepted by myself and accepting those who don't accept me, even if it's my kids. I think that's the toughest thing that I deal with right now, especially having a 20-year-old right now. Trying to be this person that I think he wants me to be, but still maintaining who I am. It's like you want to be a mom, you want to be there, you want to, you know, hey, how's your girlfriend? But at the same time, you don't want to,
space.
right? Because, you know, feel like imposing, it can cause disrespect, and disrespect will cause you to snap out. And as a parent, you don't want to do that, and you just kind of want to.
I can see my mom doing that.
It's just a lot, you know, it's a lot.
Yeah.
And then with the extra stuff on top of it, you know.
It's like, what does loving them mean, kind of thing? Like, you just want to get in there and like.
Man, loving them is knowing that your son got to go to work and being scared to death of all the little things, him getting in the car, or him forklifting, driving. Loving the kids is stalking their Facebook page and their friends that tag them in little posts because you just want to see what they're about.
I wonder if my mom does that.
She probably does. Loving them is, man, not retaliating hurtfully even when they hurt your feelings. Because sometimes when they're 20, you forget that they're yours and you just look at them as the big person that they are. But no, when you love them, you walk away sometimes and get yourself together. You know, loving them means not letting them see you cry, even when they know you're hurting. Because you know that just the way that you love a child loves its parent. And just the way a child can hurt, when a parent can hurt when a child gets hurt, a child can hurt when a parent is hurting.
Why don't you want your son to see you hurting?
I don't need him having extra negative images in his head. He's had a lot to deal with. I didn't just lose my son, he lost his brother. You know, so I'm trying to heal, but I want to be accountable for my own healing. I don't want to make my kids obligated to, you know what I mean?
I think it was your son left a comment on the video.
Thank you for helping my mom.
So it seems to me that like they know you're in pain and hurting.
They
and
do.
Like,
they do. Do they know how deep? Probably not.
It wouldn't be in their best interest to know.
To a degree. You know, to a degree. Too much of anything is not good. Told my daughter about this last night. God, as she walked in I was having a moment. She walked in and she didn't say nothing. She just came and she rubbed my back. So she says to me, she says, you okay? I said, yeah. And I said, baby, I just want you to know, I hope this is a lesson for you. I hope this is a lesson for you to know how deep my love is for all of y'all. I wanted this to be a lesson for her in pain as well as love, a mother's love, and how deep it is. That 3 years later, I'm still, you know, and that for her, the same thing. But as a parent, and you're not having children yet, so you don't know what that love will do. You know, you see your daughter's face or your son's face, like it brings a whole nother level of love. Like you're already in love with the idea of your child, right? It's imagine when you see their face, an actual face that, you know, might has Eric's nose and said woman's eye. You know what I mean? Like it brings it all together. Like you would take a bullet. There's times where I've been hungry and I got food, but it's only enough for them. You know, and that's okay. And you don't even care.
You're happy to do it.
Well, you do anything, boy. I promise you I'd rob a bank for my kids and not think nothing of it. Not that I'd want to go that route, but I'm just saying if it came down to it, I'd put myself on the line. It's so powerful, it's scary. That love is so powerful, it is scary.
I think that's just one of those things that like I will never be able to understand until I have kids of my own. Like I'm like trying to put myself.
Right, and I did that for so long.
I'm like, you're thinking about the beauty of your kids? What is that? What?
Yeah,
why would?
You get goosebumps and you just smile a lot. You don't matter. You'll never see a person more beautiful than your child's face, ever.
If you're open to it, I would love to pray for you before you leave.
You know, I'm always open to it, Eric, when it comes to you. I'm really glad we did this. It is such a beautiful day, though. God, I sat over there last time and I cried throughout most of that interview last year. I really did.
The moment you sat down, you were like, I have a lot of pain in my heart.
Oh, yeah. You're like,
all right, here we go. We're cooking tonight. You know, before, like, 20 people had walked by. No one said yes. I was like, all right, I'm calling it today. And then
here I come, down Religion Row. That's what I'm gonna call it.
This is like a Buddha center. I can't smoke here. I'm like,
it's a Catholic, and then you got the Jewish
First,
center.
I was like, who's talking so loud? Why is that so loud? Is she on a show or something? Is she on the phone? Because I think I was facing that way, and I'm just like, oh, this doesn't look like a place I can smell. This is a Buddha center or something. And I'm like, sorry, that was the worst impersonation. You don't sound like that.
Oh my God, my face hurts. Jesus Christ.
It's like you were in your own little world.
That's me though.
Yeah.
Like I'm like that. Like I dance, walking up, and you see I got my headphones. I always had. Look, last year I have headphones too. Then I had headphones this year.
They're fly headphones.
Yeah, they're good too. What are you planning on doing after? Like, what are your goals for this YouTube channel? Like, what are you YouTube tube? That was great.
Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube tube. Welcome to my YouTube tube, where you too can also be on my YouTube tube.
Well, you know, we used to call it the boob tube when I was a kid, like boob tube.
I would like to do this full time, you know, and make a living off of it, but that's hard. Like that's the overarching vision, but the goal from the day to day is just like there's a magic in the world. There's a magic in my heart that is like esoteric to explain, but I feel it. I'm just trying to like let it come out.
So it's not even monetary. This is something just for you, a personal
calling.
Yeah. Those are the best when you don't really care about the money, and if money comes, it's like, great, that's a plus, but those are the best.
I'm excited for your nonprofit.
I don't really know what I'm doing, but we're gonna work it out, and I'm gonna learn as I go.
I'm really glad you came by. I'm I know that meeting was helpful for you. I didn't
it
get a
was-
sense of,
I can't even put into words what meeting you really did for me. Like, it really changed my life. The feeling I got when I left this porch, like, was just lots of weights lifted. I feel more confident. I have a higher self-esteem, a higher sense of worth. And even when bad things happen, I no longer get discouraged, man. It's just like, damn, that door closed. All right, now let's look for the window. Wasn't like that before that day. And then I came
come
across
alive.
you. Yeah, it was funny. I was like, oh man, we just talked and bullshitted so much. He's not gonna go ahead and edit that. And then it came up and I was like, oh, he really did. And then when I started seeing the reception, I was like, it just was even more fuel to the fire to like, yeah, get out there, get talking, get creating, get to doing whatever it is. You're unstoppable, just do it.
what would you like prayer for?
Just to continue to live for me and my kids. Well, actually for me, because I gotta live for me first. Just being a face of safe space.
Let me pray for you. Lord, we thank you for just the opportunity to reconnect again after a year. We thank you for the original opportunity to connect. Pray for Frankie's family, Lord, and her children. Lord, I pray that you just bring good people into their lives, good friends. Lord, I pray, Lord, I know that they look up to their mother for a lot of strength and support. So I pray that you just continue to build Frankie, Lord. Lord, the world needs Frankie. The world needs Frankie to live into her highest truth that you have for her. So we thank you in advance, Lord, for just all the things that you're going to do, all the things that you have done. Thank you for this beautiful day. All this we pray in Jesus' name.
Wait. I'm not as acquainted with you as Eric, but I just want to thank you for sending him in my path. I definitely appreciate it, and I hope he continues to do the work that he's doing because I don't know if he realizes, but he may be really saving some people's lives. That's all I have to say.
Amen. Thank you.
Thank you, Eric. I really appreciate you. I'm so happy to see you. Now I'm gonna roll a joint.
Finally, after a year, let's see.
I just want to thank Frankie for being so willing and open in sharing her story. To me, her story is ultimately not one about death, but about life and love. A mother's love, which is one of the most beautiful things to see in this world. So thank you, Frankie. I hope these videos have filled your soul. If you want to see more stories of wonderful humans, feel free to head over to my channel for some more content.